but actually, the end of last season, when you look at where they were at, they were second in the league, and they did just miss out on silverware. Then they bring Ronaldo in. They bring in Varane and Jadon Sancho. And I was one of many sat here and thought, although I didn't say I didn't believe they were going to win the league still, I still thought they'd be much more competitive. And actually, those signings were beneficial and productive to the squad. So I think the majority of people were in the same boat thinking, yes, let him carry on.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of us, there wasn't many actually, sat here pre-season saying he should go. I mean, there's only...
Well, there wasn't, the confidence did not abound.
Well, it's deteriorated to a level that I don't think any of us could have anticipated, even Simon.
Okay.
I mean that jokingly. But, you know, the squad that they've got, the way they finished last season, although they just missed out, and we talk about the tactics in the final against Villa, etc., the start of that season with the 3 signings I've just mentioned, the positivity around Old Trafford was there. So you can't then pinpoint the owners and go, where did you get it all wrong? They were going with the flow. Where you can argue they may have got things wrong now is not having a plan, not looking like they've got a plan B if it didn't start well.
Yeah.
Because this was always going to happen if it didn't start well after 2 months, wasn't it?
Well, Danny, on players specifically, I mean, we'll talk about Vicarage Road in a moment. And Simon, that ridiculous scene at the end when Solskjaer is moving in front of the away support and Bruno Fernandes is sitting behind them. Come on, it's not just him. It's us as well. I mean, honest to God, you didn't know where to look.
No.
Danny, from a player's perspective, and you were one, where does the recent slide, what does it tell us, the recent slide, about the character of these United players? If they are so damn good, how could they fall apart like a deck of cards as they've done in recent times?
Well, it tells you that the importance of a good manager is more paramount now than ever before. And the reason I say that is because football's changed and it's evolved. It's not all this, in my day we were all stronger and we had more pride. And there's lots of players who are still strong mentally and got pride. But football has evolved to a point now where there's that many super young, wealthy, self-important players because of social media and the way life is now. I think Simon and I were talking about it before. Sometimes I don't even think it's conscious with these players, but they start living a life of a superstar, and they end up playing that way, if that makes sense. They end up performing in a.
They don't hear no in life, do they?
No,
when you've got a lot of money, you don't hear no. Everyone bows down to you. Everyone lets you do what you want. Everyone puts you to the front of the queue. And every now and again, when someone tells you to do something you don't like, I don't need this. I can go to Juve. I don't need this. My agent tells me I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I don't need this. I can do this. I can do the other.
Well, I don't need this. I'm on 6 million a year, and I'll be here long after
that
you.
too.
I mean, at the end of my career, I even saw it. I saw it at one particular club near the end, where one player in the dressing room said to a manager, told him where to go and said, I'll be here long after you're gone.
Oh, what?
And I thought to myself, that's where we're at.
Absolutely.
That's where we're at. So I'll go back to my original point.
That's what you hate, Simon,
I do,
isn't it?
yeah.
But in answer to your question, Jim, this myth, it's always been a myth to me, that a group of really talented players look after themselves. Strong leadership and good management is key to having a successful team. I know in the past we've seen some great teams go, the players, the dressing room looks after itself. It doesn't.
Team reflects leadership. Leadership was embodied on the exit interview. I'm not interested in who your friends were. I'm not interested in what acquaintances you made. And I'm not interested in how you've enjoyed yourself at Man United and what Man United represents to you. Man United is a winning machine. That's what it should represent. Not a glad-handing, backslapping, jobs for the boys mentality where excuses are built up. It is a winning machine that was built over 20 years by Alex Ferguson. It has become anything but that now. And that is in part because of the Glazers' ownership, because of the economics of Man United have changed, because of the way that it's controlled has changed, but also because the culture of players has been allowed to get out of hand. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in that dressing room with the nicest man in the world hat on cannot control the expectations of those players, i.e. getting from what's required. You've got Harry Maguire running around, putting his fingers in his ears whilst playing for England against Albania. Yeah. And his next game out, you get that. But the bottom line is you look at this side and group of players and you go, De Gea comes out. I mean, what are you? You didn't do that much either. You're talking about they can't defend. You can't save much either.
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up. Look at Fernandes. Fernandes is waving at the crowd. Did you see your own performance? Rather than trying to deflect away and get some... The whole of that team, with a very few exceptions, were appalling, and there should be an element of self-pride, if nothing else.
It made me think, Simon, when Ferguson was on the pitch, when it was announced that he was retiring, and he was on the pitch, and he looked at the United crowd and said, you know your job now?
Yeah.
Get behind the new man, who was David Moyes. Get behind him. What did we see in that interview with Manchester United TV? Got new pals. Made a lot of new friends.
Yeah,
Rekindled old friendships.
I think if he'd have gone about it, the content could have been very, very different.
Oh my good God,
But
Danny.
I tell you what epitomises leadership for me. When you look at a talented group of players, like Liverpool's a good example at the weekend. They were 1-0 up, 2-0 up against Arsenal, but they were relentless. And that doesn't come... Okay, your confidence and momentum in a game can happen on a one-off, but we see it with Liverpool all the time.
Yeah.
That intensity and desire to keep going and push and kill the team you're playing against comes from the manager. Because if they don't, they'll come out of the team. And you see it with Chelsea now. You see the relentlessness against Leicester. Could have been 6. You know, Man City against Everton, you've got young kids coming... All right, a couple of young kids coming in and one of them making his full debut, fine, and he's getting to be at it because he's young and enthusiastic. But even the senior boys, they are pressing against Everton when they're 2-0 up.
Name me a natural leader in that United side right now. A natural leader.
Well, Ronaldo's a leader.
Who's going to drag them out of this?
Ronaldo's a leader.
Who's going to drag them? Ronaldo.
He's a leader in terms of the way he plays and conducts himself. He's a leader. People should be looking at him. So he could be massive.
But then we hear at the weekend, and Alex Crook will mention more of this, George Mendes getting in touch with the hierarchy saying, what's going on?
Who cares about what agent phones up the hierarchy? That's not going to affect what Ronaldo does.
Because his man is saying, what have I rejoined?
I know, but he's in there now. He's not going anywhere
I'm just
else.
seeing an announcement on Sky News which will really hearten the United fans. Apparently Ed Woodward's considering staying on longer to help recruit an appointment.
That's what you're hearing at the moment.
I'm just seeing it, yeah.
Look at you, breaking news,
I
Jordan.
just popped up on my phone, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.